Right, okay, guys. Hello, good evening. Welcome to your Hilly stream for Tuesday, and it's of course, it's WAOF1, and it is reverse sprint evening. So obviously, we've only done one of these through the season, so I just want to sort of start off by explaining. I'll probably explain this a little bit more, or again a couple of times as people join the stream, but. Effectively, what we're doing tonight is so you can see there's a practice session selected. They're only getting 10 minutes, okay, guys? So it's not going to be they're not actually doing 60 minutes of practice. Going to get 10 minutes to do a few runs, and that is it. Okay. Then we will be heading directly into the sprint race. The reason for that practice is obviously they would usually be doing a qualifying, so it's just giving 10 minutes for people to do some runs, get used, get their eye in, basically. Because not everybody is able to join the practice before the practice lobby that people set up before the race. Then it will be the 10-lap sprint. Okay, so that will be a reverse sprint. So the reserves will be starting at the back. Then the rest of the field will be from the highest in the championship, going to pole position being the lowest in the championship from the full-time drivers. Okay. Just to try and explain that as best I could. Then we go into the usual 50% feature race, which will be the grid will be sorted from the finishing positions from the sprints, whether it's full-time drivers or reserves. It doesn't matter. Wherever you finish in the sprint is where you're going to start in the race. So remember, in WAOF1 for the sprint races, the top 10 score points, not the top 8. It's the top 10. And of course, in the race, everybody scores points at finishes, so always important to remember that. Of course, we're at Australia, the home of the kangaroos and the wallabies. I can't do an Australian accent, unfortunately, otherwise I'd definitely be doing it. Anyway, it should be fun. It should be really, really fun. I just need to get on and start doing my sharing and all that sort of stuff, because I haven't done any of that, so... Just wanted to get that explanation out of the way, but as I said, I will explain a bit more. What I'll do is at the start of each session, I'll just give a further explanation of actually what we're doing. My laptop seems to have possibly crashed actually, which is a good start. Right then. Oh, lovely, that wants to run an update as well. They told me this earlier. It takes a second. Right, come on. Right, there we go, that's updated. That was the Twitch app, needed updating on my phone. Go. Right, I could get all the sharing done now. So share that into Tuesday chat. I'll share it in the general chat as well so everybody else can see it. And not just going to put in the Tuesday chat. If I can find it. Main chat, there you go. And I'll share it in HRF1. There we go. Oh, no, hang on, where did I share that? I didn't share that where I meant to. Oh well, HRF1 I got my stream link in some random channel somewhere that I don't know where it is. I'll have Hunter on at me. There we go, and I can share it in. Should we share it in the Mad? I can share it in the Mad one. Mad F1 on hiatus, it says. So there you go, I'm going to self-promote that. Why on earth not? There we go, that'll do for tonight. Who we got here then? Oh yeah, I forgot it was this funny sprint thing tonight. Yep, absolutely, don't mark. Hey mate, seen some of your commentaries. Was wondering what Discord is. For this particular league, buddy, it's WAOF1. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to share the Discord link onto the stream, but the others do. So if somebody watching, perhaps one of the other admins, if one of you guys knows how to share the Discord link to the stream, please could you do that for DLR? That would be awesome if you could, please. What's the poll for tonight? I will let you know once the laptops start working. Doing there. The poll should be: will Dartmouth make it past lap 5 in the race? Which race? The sprint or the main race? Or either? Or both? Oh, that's asterisk state. I can't see that. Have you said a naughty word, Dartmouth? I can't see it. Both. Says Gunnar. Gunnar, you're in a party with the other admins. Can you and well, you're both there. Could one of you, or can someone from the admins do the link? Copied the link. It didn't work. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Must be some way to sort this. Doesn't work. Well, it should work. There's no reason it wouldn't. Oh, look, they're readying up. Perhaps between sessions. I'll tell you, between sessions, I'll have a little look. There's clearly a way to do it. I don't know why they're failing. They're just as bad as I am, really, with technology, I think. Hey, right, the laptop's turned on. It's not ready to do anything yet. It's still booting up, but that's a fair shout. So yeah, good point, Gunnar. Okay, so DLR. My Discord name is Hilly3869. Okay, so that's Hilly, HILLY 3869. If you search me and add friend after the race, I will accept your request, and then oh, now I know what you mean. Okay, no, I don't. I don't have my own Discord. Or I do, yeah. So my Discord would be my username, obviously Hilly3869. The problem being that I race as well, so I'm either racing or commentating every night already. The only thing I could consider in doing is if it was an earlier start time at like 6 o'clock or something, then I could consider it. But at the moment, I'm full. So there we go. Check out W. Thanks, Marco. I think you might have shared the wrong thing, but that's absolutely fine. It's the Discord links we were looking for, Marco, but I'd misunderstood in a way what DLR meant. So there we go. Right then, into a practice session. Looks like there's a couple of cars moving. I'm not really used to commentating on a practice session, I'm not going to lie to you. As Sniper Monkey invalidates immediately out the pits. That has looked like it was running rather wide behind. Who's that? That was Thatcher's. He's okay. Pool. What's your favourite form of pool? American pool, English pool, Spanish pool, UK 8-ball pool, American 8-ball pool. If you like UK 8-ball, do you like BATO rules, EPA rules, world rules? Oh, pole for the race. Sorry, Gunnar. What were the other rules I was thinking of? You got Black Ball rules. What's the other one? The newer one. International rules. Oh, I hate those rules. They suck. People literally cheat to win. I don't like that. Anyway, you meant pole for race. Okay. Taylor, hello. I'll have a good one for you tonight, Taylor. I can feel it in me water. Well, I ain't got water, I got coffee, so I can feel it in me coffee. Oh, God, here we go. Don't shut down properly. Go away. You know, I shall sort out the pole in a minute. I don't... Here's what I think is actually a good one for tonight. Because it is a reverse sprint, I think this is quite a clever poll tonight. And I still haven't got it open, but this is the one I'm going to do. I am going to say, will any driver, so any driver on the grid, get a double podium tonight? So podium, the sprint race and the main race. Any driver at all. And it will still be a yes or no. I'm not asking you to name the driver. It'll just be yes or no. Have a go at that. So still keep an eye on Sniper Monkey. He's going to be first to complete a practice lap. So you can't read too much into these laps. People use different tyres. Sniper's on the hard. Some people are on medium. Some are on softs. Personally, I think I'd like to get a feel for how the car is going to feel in the sprint race, because that's what's coming up next. So that's what I'd be looking for. Each to their own on that sort of thing. You can, you know, do whatever. Sniper Monkey's done a lap. Well's done a lap 120.2. Danny. Danny 21.1 puts in Q2. James. You know, rich vein of form recently. If you remember back to last week, I don't know if I've actually recovered from this yet, but James and Corey both podiumed last week. I think I'm still a little bit... Taylor, the practice would just be 10 minutes, okay? It's a 60-minute session, but it will only be 10 minutes. Everybody must retire from the practice after 10 minutes. So... Right. So then... Right. Fiction. Why is my toolbar... Why is Discord open? I haven't... Oh, it was updating. Lovely. I don't really want updates running while I'm streaming, so... Right, prediction. So start prediction. Right. As Whale retires. Just on one lap and retired, fair enough. Operator's retired in a way. You know, on low part. You don't want to show his true pace, you see, and practice and ruin the surprise for the race. So, what viewers will predict? Okay, so will any, I'll put in capital letters, will any driver get a double podium tonight? And like I said, that is simply yes or no. And with the... I'm just going to... Well, because it's only a... I'll give 15 minutes on that, guys. So you've got 15 minutes to get your predictions in. Have fun. Right, let's go down to a driver that's not done a lap yet. Mackenzie's out there, Dark Mark's out there, Greg's retired from the session. A few drivers retiring now. Still a few minutes left yet for... We'll get a couple more laps in. Fastest of the session is an 18.2 from Mama. I'm going to be honest, it feels like an absolute age since I either did cons or raced in Australia myself. Yes, DLR, please do still add me. Send me a friend request, buddy, and I will accept it. So, yeah, it's always good to have options. And if I'm ever free on the, you know, if the league I normally do is on a break week or something, I can always come and guest comms it for a night and all that sort of thing. So, Kenzie then over the line to start. I don't know if it's going to be a hot lap or not. It might be a hot lap. Might be seen as a bit of fun, just seeing how quick you can go on a hard tyre. Corey retires from the session. 2 minutes, well, just over 2 minutes remaining. Operator, yep, 10 minutes. You're absolutely right. So 2 minutes and 9 seconds remain. Do have an ad break coming up. I won't be snoozing any ad breaks during a practice session, guys. So I'll try and keep an eye on it for the race. Mr. Pugs, thank you very much for the follow 4 days ago, apparently. If you listen to this, thank you very much. So yeah, just a reminder then for any new joiners to the stream. So this is a practice session, but this is only got about, well, just over a minute left, I think it is, and then we will be heading into the reverse sprint, which I think should be almost immediately. Then there will be the usual 5 minutes. So just confirm reverse sprint. Sorry, so that's reserves will start at the back of the grid, and then it will be the higher you are in the championship, the further back you'll start, but the reserves will be at the back. For which I think we got 4 tonight. So. P1 in the championship isn't here. Carsey isn't here tonight, so he did say if he makes it back in time, he'll jump into comms with me. See, no idea when he's expecting to get back. Oh, Stroudy! Stroudy's round. He's retired from practice. And Marco and Danny, if you're listening, it is just you two guys, please, to retire. It is about time now, so Marco and Danny, please retire from the session. And just to finish off what I was saying, the feature race is the usual 50%. Which grid order will be decided by the sprint beforehand. So Marco and Danny, please retire from the session. Tom Stroud has left the session admin, so if somebody can invite him back, please. We've got some predictions going up. 890 channel points so far on yes. We'll be going. Marco, please retire from the session. We were on the stream a second ago, so we should be here. Always one in there. There he goes. There he goes. Thank you, Marco. There we go then. So there are our results. That's alright, Marco. No, it wasn't very long, don't worry. I was just teasing, playing. So there's our results from the mini practice. And oh goodness me, look at that. Oh, Monkey's crashed. Didn't realise that. Did he crash on purpose? The only time you'll ever get away with it, I think, is in a little practice session like that. Have a little deliberate crash. So, Moomin! Moomin! Where's Carsey? He's not here. I don't know where he is. I'm not his mum. I don't keep tabs on him. He's somewhere in Northern Ireland. You know, like that's. If that narrows it down a little bit for you, mate. Oh dear. So we're just waiting. So as always, any drivers listening, just wait for an admin to press the button. Don't do it yourselves. I'm not sure exactly what the rules are here at the moment, so maybe they're just taking. I would imagine they're giving a 2 or 3 minutes, guys, to do your setups and your strategy and all that sort of thing. So yeah, make sure you do your setups and all that, and your strategy and all that first. And if you need to nip a loo or grab a drink or something like that, then do that. Always do the. It's a little tip from Hilly. Always do your strategy and setups first. That way, if there is an early ready up and they decide not to restart, at least you know you've got everything you wanted. Oh, Taylor says he believes Danny will. So he thinks Danny will get the double podium, and he's used all his points for it. We shall see. We shall see. I think there's plenty of drivers on the grid, Taylor, including yourself, that are capable of doing it. So you're probably right that Danny is probably the most likely, but with no Carsey here. Evening, Strody. Are you back in? I saw you get kicked. 7.5 minutes left on the prediction, guys. Oh, we're up to 16,600 points now on the prediction. And somebody's put on no. Somebody's put 20 on no. I love it when somebody does that. Oh, summary. Right. Who is it? I'll tell you. Who is it? Who has done that? It was Strady! Strady! 20 points on no. Why not? Go against all the rest. 4 users have said yes, and that is 15,742 points from Taylor. He's extremely confident. 870 from Gooner. He would have gone higher, but he's lost all his points recently to me, so that's all he's got left. Whale and Dartmark, 10 each. Cheeky gits. 10 each from Whale and Dartmark. There we go. Oh, we're up to 40 on the nose now. Hang on, sorry. Let me go back in. Who else has done it? Somebody else has had 20 on nose. Marco! Marco! So, just a reminder, it is will any driver gets a double podium tonight. So that's the, well, that's obviously the sprint race and the main feature race. So here we go. We're in the sprint. And off they go on the formation lap. So it's 20 past 8. So it's almost like we've just done a short qualifying, really, with what the time is. So we're probably a little ahead of schedule from that. So see, in unusual races, because we normally do full qualifying, the qualifying doesn't usually finish until just before 5 to 9 normally, and then we take a 5-minute break, and we usually go around about the hour just before, just after. So we should be a little bit ahead of schedule. 10 laps won't take us up to 9 o'clock, so we should be a little bit earlier finishing tonight. As long as we don't get 5 safety cars in the race. Let's touch wood, touch wood. So, any gaps appearing in the field? Not really. Tiny gap there, but not really any problem. Yeah, I think we're okay, mostly. Quickly get the tyres up. And to confirm the order, so Thatcher's, who's actually recently joined WAOF1, so saying he's sort of bottom of the championship and getting pole, so, it is actually because he's new. So, be a bit harsh otherwise not to point that out. Marco and P2 also, in fact most of the top guys are new drivers, so Marco Philbo was very new. Dartmark only recently joined us, took a seat when he started doing the commentary on the Thursday nights. Operator is probably the first of the sort of longer term drivers. Starting in 5th, Monkey in 6th, Moo in 7th, Corey in 8th. Oh, Monkey and Moomin have had a Must have had a little coming together there. Gunner's starting 9th. He's a good shout for a double podium, you know. Whale P10, James in 11, Mamo 12. Danny's starting 13th then. And there's more reserves than I thought, guys. I only thought we had 4 tonight, but there were 6. So Danny's the highest in the championship that is in the race. So he is starting 13th. And Chris, Sniper, D-Bomb, Greg Stars, Tom Stroud and Mackenzie are all reserves. Stroudy, it's not glitched. You can't take. It will give you control of the car at the end of the formation lap, buddy. It always does that. Right, let's go on board with the McLaren of Dark Mark for the starts. And away we go. The lights are out. And off we go. Oh, look at that Alpine. He's got a really good start. That is Corey. I tried getting to him. Look at Corey. He's absolutely flown off the line, but he's hit the back of Marco there. Oh! He's got a nudge. I'm not sure exactly. Oh my goodness, it's chaos. It is absolute chaos at the start. Oh, operators ended up right down in 15th. Moomin was called up. I've got a feeling he might have been the one who hit Corey, but somebody might have hit him. I can't tell from what we were looking at, but it was absolute chaos off the start. James has dropped down. Monkey's dropped down. We've lost Sniper Monkey out of the sprint. That's about it. Danny's already up to 9th. Gunner's already up to 5th. Corey, who had that glorious start, but he did hit the back of Marco. And then it was coming out of turn 2 that somebody just seemed to go across into him. But as I say, I don't know if they got... they may have been a passenger for all I know. So... But that was chaos at the start of the sprint start. They'll get 2 chances at that tonight. So let's hope the other ones... Let's hope the second one's better. Hopefully, Strider, you should have control of your car in a way. So hopefully that's the case. You're in P12. So let's have a quick look at the position changes off that disaster of a start. So 2 up for Dark Mark. He's a potential double podiumer tonight, by the way, especially starting so far forward. In fact, both McLarens are. Gunner's up 4. We got some pitters, which was pretty obvious that was going to happen. So, look how many have had to pit. 7 drivers in the pit. It was hectic, wasn't it? Look at Mackenzie's been double stacked. Corey had to pit as well, so both Alpines in. Mackenzie suffers from the double stack. They'll obviously switch to the softs. And after all that plays out then, our biggest gainer off the start is Tom Stroud. Perhaps not having control of his car immediately has helped. Perhaps that helped him miss all the chaos. But he is up 9 places, the top starter. Up 8 is D-Bomb. And then we've got a few drivers on +6. So Mamo, Danny and Mackenzie all up. Despite that double stack from Mackenzie, he's actually up 6 places. So there you go. He's not a full-time. I thought he was a full-time driver. Obviously not. Otherwise he would have been. He wouldn't have been starting in 19th. So there we go. There we go, guys. We just wait now for the safety car to finish. I think you'll find it's going to go another lap. So it's going to do lap 3 under the safety car, which means we'll resume on lap 4, meaning we have 7 laps, race laps remaining. Or we will have 7 racing laps remaining when it restarts. Hopefully, just need to calm down a bit now. And let's get this restart. Nothing stupid on the restart, guys. Just let the restart happen. Everybody follow each other. That's the best way. No silly lunges or anything like that. We'll say it may be, as an admin, I will say that maybe Australia wasn't the best choice to be doing this. Or to do any sprint really, but the problem is if you don't do these things at different tracks, you don't find out what's actually quite good, and also you just end up doing the same tracks all the time, doing the same things at the same tracks all the time, which I don't think that's what any of us want. Oh, okay, Taylor, that explains it. I thought because you are a full-time driver, but you started from the back, which is 19th, because you were late. Fair enough. That makes sense. Obviously, because when you do the reverse sprint like this, or when you do a championship order sprint, you got to do the grid before the start. So, yeah, if you're late to the lobby, you'll automatically be at the back. Okay, so Thatchers will lead us away at the end of this lap. There's the confirmation, by the way. Safety car in this lap is quite good, actually. That the shape from race control has come very early. So what that happens is the game slows Thatchers right down. So actually, if you're like Dark Mark and P2, you just got to be a bit careful not to run into him when he gets automatically slowed down by the game. And it's completely up to Thatchers when he goes. The safety car has now reached the pit lane and has crossed what I think is called the safety car line. And Thatchers goes nice and early, coming out, or going in actually to the final corner. And that stops any chance Dark Mark might have had on the restart of getting him into turn 1. So far, looks like everybody's okay. Just follow the front guys up to the hairpin, which tends to be probably your best opportunity around here. Turn 1 and the hairpin, the best 2 opportunities I would say at this track. Also down, actually that's probably not true because you've got the long and straight now, of course, the newer section of track. So this bit here, which is a long straight, as Dark Mark looked to have a little look around the outside, but there wasn't any room to back out. But this time there is room. Clearly has a straight line advantage there, Dark Mark. So that is a section of track which actually great opportunities happen there, and so it does down to the right-hander down here as well, which is the DRS zone. And Philbo around the outside. Oh, careful, Thatchers. He's going to lose a place to Marco there, but at least he kept it. He didn't lose it into the wall. So Gunnar going at the inside now. He's finding himself under a bit of attack, isn't he, Thatchers? But he's doing his best and he's keeping out of trouble. A little contact there with Danny, but nothing really to write home about. As I've just noticed Whale down in P15. What happened there? Danny gets past Thatchers this time, and now it'll be D-Bomb who wants to get past. As we have a yellow flag, and that's Operator. He's just been off into the gravel at the hairpin. An unusual one, that. That was a contact or not, I don't know. It's quite an unusual place to go off on your own, so that would suggest perhaps a contact as D-Bomb gets past Thatchers. And Mamo will look to get past next. Have a look from Mamo. Actually, he's coming under a bit of attack from Tom Stroud, though. From Tom Stroud's point of view. Mamo, as much as he wants to go off and get past Thatchers... Oh, sorry, no, Mamo has got past Thatchers. My apologies, I completely missed that. Stroud then is next to look to get past him. DRS now enabled. The first time this evening. Going to that camera angle, it's just giving us a little view of Moomin and Mackenzie. Corey's looking to try and get past Stroudy. Heavy fighting, and Moomin wants to take advantage as well, and does. So Stroudy drops 2 places there from 9th to 11th. Through goes Corey and Moomin, and Corey now finds himself on the back of get caught in this sort of situation here where Corey, not offense to Thatcher's here, but the drivers chasing him are probably a bit faster, and because you want to be fair and you want to be, you don't want to force your way through it in an unfair spot. Oh, Thatcher gets out of shape on the outside curb. That's going to allow Corey and Mamo through, and Moomin through. Oh no! There's contact between Moomin and Thatcher's. And Moomin goes round and into the wall. It's not going to be a safety car. He is still going. Oh, I think Straddy's been sort of caught up in it as well. Oh dear. Yeah, it did look to me like Moomin was alongside Thatcher's there. I think Thatcher's cut him up, to be honest, but I don't know. It might be one for the stewards, that. I never like to apportion blame. Oh, Thatcher's. Come on, lad. You've got to be more careful. He's not pushing too far, but he's hitting them because it's the movement on this, whether it's wheel or pad or whatever, it's just a little bit too heavy, and so it's causing sort of jagged responses up with his car, causing him to hit other drivers. Just got to be a bit careful. Oh, dark marks in the wall. That is coming out as operator retires. We can have a VSC. It might be a full. Yeah, that's got to be a full safety car. Operator is out and in the middle of the road as his teammate has to go past him, but that's going to enable Straddy to get back onto the back of the field. He should be able to do that. The safety car ain't going to stay out long. He shouldn't have any problem doing that, but I'm not sure what happened to Dartmark. His safety car is only going to do this lap, so Straddy will need to put his foot down here. And don't mark into the pits, so clearly there's... Oh yeah, he's completely lost his front wing. Not the best of driving in the... Not often I say this about WAOF1 because it's usually of the absolute highest standards of driving, but this hasn't been so far today. This has been a poor one. Right. Not saying that to be controversial or sort of be mean or anything. It's just that just telling the truth. Straddy takes a new wing, and that, unfortunately, I think that will mean Straddy won't have any chance of getting around to the back of the safety car. We'll see. He'll have to bomb it, but he's going to struggle. What you could do with is an early call, like the last one. There you go. That is a very early call. So we're just going into the chicane. Yes, whatever you prefer. I would say that's an S more than the chicane, to be fair, but I don't know. Chicane. Okay, so going to resume. No, as expected, really. As Philbo goes, leads us away, and Marco seemed a little bit slow on the take-up, and that's going to allow Danny a chance into turn one. Side by side, here they go. Nicely done, both drivers. Marco has actually tried a little switchback, and don't think he's quite going to get a run on him, but it was a nice little attempt that from Marco, but a nice move from Danny. Through he goes. Gunnar and Mamo battling just behind that as well. We could see that at the top of our screen. And at the moment, Gunnar is the one in P4. Oh, Marco! Marco. What have you done? Or what did somebody else do? Oh dear. So Marco ends up round And Moomin is out. We've lost Moomin. That is at the chicane. Is that the first part of the chicane? How is he out just there? Oh, and there's no doubt about it, guys. If we could have one, that would have been a safety car. What is going on? This is like 5-lap lobby stuff. And Philbo onto the final lap is absolutely flying. Here he is. He's got his it's the 2 Alfa Romeos. They are teammates, so it's the 2 Alfa Romeos. Philbo is full time now. He's been given a full time seat. Hence why he started in P3, I think it was. So ultimately, Danny has no need to try and take this position off of him. Teammates bring home the 1-2. And Schooner got a penalty then, and he's dropped down as well. He's down to P13. So much going on, guys. I've got a clue where to look. Oh, careful. A little bit worried there, but looks like they come out of care. I thought, yeah, to be fair, it was Greg and James. Two very good drivers. So James is having a look on the outside. Oh! James lost it into the wall. That was really strange. That wasn't contact. That was a moment probably getting on the power or something. That's in a way. Philbo Baggins wins the sprint race and will start on pole position. Danny P2. So it's an Alfa Romeo front row. Mamo P3. D-Bomb in 4. Mackenzie in 5. Corey 6. Whale in 7. Chris 6. Greg in 8. Chris 8. Greg in 9. Dark Mark 10. James 11, Thatcher's 12 in the end, Gunnar 13, Strady 14, and Marco in 15th. I do feel sorry for Marco there, was doing very well indeed. But Moomin, yes indeed, what a disappointment. Yeah, you've got to be happy with that, Taylor. What a result, but I'm afraid all in all, yeah, that was horrendous. I'm not going to lie to you, that was absolutely horrendous. But it is what it is. It is a sprint race. I guess that's the risk of mixing the field up a bit as well. We chose to do it. We chose to do Australia. Perhaps it was a wrong decision. But here are the instants. Internal damage, severe collision, all sorts of things going on. Let me just scroll through these because something tells me there's going to be some tickets submitted from that one. Monkeys collision and Moomin. So I'm guessing that's what's happened there. So let's do more damage first, but yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened. Marco, well, I totally messed up there. I didn't know what happened, mate. I didn't know if you'd been hit or whether you'd just made a mistake out of a corner. The race start, guys, will be at 8:46, so do not ready up. If you're a driver listening to the stream, do not ready up. The race will start at 8:46, which is in 5 minutes. Other than that, guys, I'm just going to take myself a quick little break. This could be a long race, so I'm just going to grab a coffee and take a quick little break. I'll be back with you in 2 to 3 minutes, so please don't go away, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, I'm back with you, and we've got, well, I think a matter of seconds before we get to the main race. It is 8:46 now, so one of the admins will be pressing the button any second. Oh, I didn't notice that one, Dark Mike. 4 thousandths for the second between me and Greg at the end of the sprint. So, yeah. Here we go then. 40 formation laps. So we're at the main race now. The important bit, really. To be honest. I have to say, in terms of, I just want to say this because even in real life, in terms of sprints, I'm just not a fan. Even in real life, I just think they're a waste of time. I don't agree with them. You know, I've been watching, or I did watch Formula One up until 2 seasons ago, and had been watching since 1990. So, you know, over 30 years of watching F1, and sprints were never needed. They were never ever needed. They had a perfect qualifying system when it was the tyres that you qualified through Q2 on, if you get into Q3, are the tyres that you start on. That was the perfect system. They had it already. They didn't need to mess about with that, and I just don't think sprints are necessary. But what I do like, you know, as they are a part of Formula One at the moment, what I do like is trying different things. So trying the reverse sprints, maybe trying doing a sprint. I'm going to do it with the Wednesday League. Halfway through, we're going to have a sprint where we will do a one-shot qualifying, and that will be at Bahrain. So it'll be one-shot qualifying, sprint race, 50% race. So, you know, as it is part of F1 at the moment, let's try things, let's do things, and let's try and enjoy it. But I do think in real life they should go back to what they had. So, anyway, Philbo is starting on the softs, as are Greg, Thatchers, Stroudy and Marco. Hard runners are Corey, Chris, James, Gooner, Monkeys and Sniper Monkey. So the 2 monkeys. And all the rest then on mediums. So pretty even split, to be fair, between the mediums and the hards. Slightly on the side of mediums, I think. And that was most likely to cover off safety cars. Chris and Operator missing the grid slots in P8 and P18. Unfortunately, it is one of those, as you can see, it does not give me a very good camera. So we will pick. I think Corey got an awesome start. So let's try that one. All lights on, and out they go, and away we go. And we are off for the main feature race at Australia. Here they come, down to turn 1. And, oh, there's a little bit of contact to the back. Moomin ends up with a little bit of a spin. I think that may have been contact with Monkeys. But he is back going, and I don't think he's got any damage. I just realised I forgot to get the app up with all the tyre wear and damage and stuff on. Never mind. It's not that important. So they follow through now. Who are our gainers? We've got so a much more calm, relaxed start this time, and I think that's good. I think that was sensible from the drivers. Just that one little contact, but it's the same. Women's still going, and just going to take a quick look at me. Oh, who was that actually? That's somebody having a look. That is Mamo, past Danny and D-Bomb. Mamo and D-Bomb both gone past Danny. Philbo, by the way, starting on those softs, is going off to an absolute rocket start. He's already built a 1 second lead, 1.5 seconds in fact. And I thought we were going to look and see that he really hit his energy, but he hasn't at all. He's still on. So, well, he's 75% then. All trying to do their best to break the toe. Chris picks up 3 seconds very, very early on. He's not the only one to have picked up a penalty. Just interesting though, isn't it? Seeing Danny get attacked like that at the start of the race and drop a couple of places. We're not used to seeing that. That could make for an interesting one. That's 4 drivers with penalties already. Just gonna have a quick check. They're all 3 seconds. Yeah, they are. 4 drivers with 3-second penalties on lap 2. Oh, that's not. Is it Sniper or Monkeys? It's one of the Monkeys. It might be both Monkeys. I think it's both Monkeys. You know, it is. I'm sure they've both had contact. That's produced a virtual safety car. I don't think it will be any more than a virtual. It's Strady again off to a really good start, up 4 places. He's still a virtual. It disappeared and reappeared then, so just confirm it is still virtual. Greg up 3 places. Operator up 3 places. So those 3 guys have had the best starts. Biggest dropper is actually Monkeys at the back with down 3. So not massive changes going on at all at the start. Drivers just took it in their stride a little bit, realising, hey guys, perhaps we've been a bit overzealous on the sprint. Something a lot more sensible. Yeah, I think that probably confirms that there was contact between the 2 Monkeys. It's a Sniper Monkey and Monkeys in. Perhaps it's a territorial thing, I don't know. Don't monkeys usually fling their feces at each other rather than crashing into each other? Perhaps they were doing that before and it got out of hand, I don't know. Right. Danny then is on the back of D-Bomb. He was lost out a bit. I think he's lost out a bit under the VSC, to be honest. It's going to be interesting to see the strategies. I can't imagine that the guys that have started on the soft sides are planning to 2-stop. I would imagine they're still looking at 1-stop. Here it goes, Danny around the outside of D-Bomb, and that was very nicely pulled off. That's Taylor just behind D-Bomb now. That was a lovely move from Danny to get up into P2. He'll now be looking to get onto the back of Mamo, because Mamo is within the second of Mamo already, but Mamo with Philbo flying off at the start of this race, now 2 seconds up. Mamo is potentially vulnerable. And let's have a look down. The 2 McLarens running in 10 and 11. I was going to say Gunner's got the DRS on Dark Mark, but actually Dark Mark's just nipped into the 1 second of Chris ahead of him. So it's the 4 guys with those penalties at the moment, with 3 seconds each. I am positive there's going to be a lot more before the end of this race. Australia is very easy to pick up penalties around, so very, very sure that there will be more. Danny, don't think he's going to get a chance into the chicane. I don't know if he's going to get a chance here either. I think he may have to wait for at least the pit straight, and probably into the hairpin will be his best opportunity. So Chris gets past Corey there, battling on exit, but Chris makes that nicely and makes that stick. Corey leaves room. And nicely done, guys. Nice bit of racing. Nice little run of cars there, and yeah, so that gap is starting to come down already. Look, and that already suggests that Philpo's beginning to struggle on the softs. As we get a yellow flag out the final corner, it's a Ferrari. It's operator. He's already looks like he's well back on his way. So, and no obvious signs of damage. So I think it was just a little spin without contact on the wall. So Danny couldn't get him down into the hairpin, so he's going to have to use the long DRS straight, which is the old part of the track. So I'm sure I can't be the only one thinking it was actually better the way it was before. This ain't better to me. Sticking out the chicane, but it was a really difficult part of the track to drive, and sticking in another straight. I don't think that's better to me. I think if anything it says a lot more about F1 in the fact that in order to help overtake him, he needs to add a straight with DRS. Where has F1 gone wrong over the years that they have to add these little gimmicky things on to allow people to overtake each other? It's used to have to do it. They used to rely on the driver skill and slipstream. So, any other little battles going on? I don't want to just stick on the same guys all the time, as we've got yellows this time, and it's a Haas, and it's Thatcher's who's round. That looks like coming out of the penultimate corner and going into the... So I think coming out of the penultimate corner, he's lost it before entering the final corner. But he's back going. Just have a quick look at his front wing. And yeah, both end plates are there. So, well, he would have peeled into the pits if there was damage in a way. So, oh, that was Thatcher's. And he's off at turn 1 over there. Well, that does not sound good. Okay, guys, so we have a full safety car out. Thrashers has crashed on his own into turn 1. Seems very strange, that one. Probably not the worst timing for the guys on softs. It did seem pretty obvious that Philbo's softs were beginning to struggle a little bit. So he's in. Danny has continued on and taken the track position. There is going to be different choices here. I wouldn't be shocked to see somebody's going to switch to hards to go to the end of this race. I'm sure of it. Somebody's got to try it, and it's Philbo. Philbo's done it. He's gone to hards and will look to go to the end of this race. So is Stroudy. And for Philbo, it's not too bad. He's come out in P7. That's not bad at all. D-Bomb's pitted to softs and come out P8, so he's going to be attacking. Could be interesting. That could be very clever from D-Bomb. If he can get past Philbo reasonably quickly with the tyre advantage, you would think, with the guys, the top 6 being on the 6-lap mediums, that he would be able to get through those guys. Okay, Thatcher's been straight into the Tuesday chat in the Discord and said that his controller turned off. Which is why I can actually vouch for him in the sense that it does. If your controller turns off, it takes a few seconds for the game to realise and actually let the AI take over. It's actually happened to me last night. It's Mexico in a social race we did an HRF1 last night. I was running in third and going through the S's, and the controller switched itself off. Luckily for me, it didn't hit the wall or anything, so I got to carry on. But by the time I managed to get back in and switch the car around and all that, I'd lost around about 15 to 20 seconds and I was running in P12 instead. So unfortunately for Thatcher's, it's put him in a wall. So, perfect timing for the ad break to happen in a way. So, I think the safety car will be in the end of this lap. Monkeys is going to catch it with ease. He's nearly there already. moment, Danny running in P1. Didn't pit, of course, like the rest of the top 6. All stayed out. Everybody else pitted. Apart from Operator, actually, who's still on his starting tyres, 7-lap old mediums. So, it's quite clear who to watch here. Philbo, Stridey will be asking for no more safety cars. Or if there was to be one, they want it after the medium tyre guys are pitted. That would be ideal for them. So then, Danny will lead us away. Mamo P2, Mackenzie in 3. Danny has gone. And away we go. Is anybody going to get a run on the restart? If anybody's going to, it's Taylor, by the looks of it. It's no room there. And we'll have to back out of that one. And, just got a little bit of out of shape on the exit out of 2, and I think that was dirty air calls in that. And we've got a yellow flag and operators round. So, show really close. Battle going on. These guys, start mark and Moomin, really tight. And start mark, I think, gained the place there. And just to mention that Philbo has gotten past, D-Bomb has gotten past Philbo. There's a little bit squeezing going on. Careful, guys. On the inside, you need to make the inside of the corner. And there's a bit of contact there from Greg on the back of Moomin. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's absolutely insane. Wild driving. And look. Contact there from Mark and I think it was Greg. I mean, D-Bomb's made his way past. He's now on the back of his teammate for the evening, Whale. So I don't think Whale will be looking to hold him up. I think what the best way to do this is, well, just don't use any energy. Well, he's letting through actually on the corner instead. I'm going to just said sort of waited for the straight and just not used any energy and let him cruise past you, but would have been the best way not to lose time. But he did it pretty well, actually, in all fairness. So, D-Bomb through the P4 and flying, as you would expect. Philbo's dropped the P12. There was all sorts going on. Mad driving. It must have been about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 cars so close to each other. Trying to get through. So much going on. So much to try and keep your eyes on here. So don't ride Philbo out. He may have dropped down, but the field is tight. So don't ride him off just yet. Pit stop around here off the top of my head, I think it's about 21 seconds. Surely in the next sort of 4 or 5 laps, the medium guys will have to come in. Don't know. It's just whether the early VSC and then the actual full safety car, has it saved enough of their tyres that they can look to do a medium soft maybe. As D-Bomb looks to go round Mackenzie and does that nicely. So chicane through certain corners like that, he's going to have so much more grip. Danny has taken off in the lead a little bit. It's only 1.4, 1.5. It's not as if he's disappeared, but looking strong. So it's going to be about those pit stops, and I don't think the guys that switched to mediums under that safety car will be able to make the end of this race. I think they'll have to stop for softs. The only question for me is whether the hard pitters can. Is the bomb, which is so easy, just gets past. But ultimately, Mamo would, you know, he's not going to be worrying too much about that. In fact, if anything, Mamo might say, well, look, you go on past and I'll try and keep within your 1 second for the long straight. Give yourself DRS. That would just help him pull away from Mackenzie a little bit more. And he has done exactly that. He does have, or will have, DRS. Surely he had it. Yeah, he did, look. So, that will also get him up so that he can have it on the next straight as well. So this is just going to get him away from the cars behind as Greg Stars goes past Mackenzie in exactly the same spot that Mamo did. Mackenzie at the moment just struggling to stay within the 1 second of a driver to have that DRS for defence. Chris and Gunnar on the fresher tyres trying to make their way through the field. They do. Problem for them at the moment is that Well has DRS off of Mackenzie. So they'll have a bit of a straight line advantage with the extra grip as Chris goes to the inside of Whale. And Whale, it didn't look to me like he tried to battle that too hard. Pretty much allowed it to happen. In fact, just seems to pull over and allow Gunnar through. I don't think Whale will be too unhappy about being on the back of these guys if he can sort of just follow them around. Might help him save some energy. Don't need much energy, but it might help him keep the high amounts he's got. And perhaps he might need a bit of fuel, so it should help him save a bit of fuel as well. That's yellow flags. It's down at the back. It's Atari. It's Monkeys. It's round. Once again, can't see any obvious signs of damage there, so I think he's okay. And why did I move? Oh no, it was that. No, sorry, it wasn't where we were looking. Actually, it's James that's ended up off track at the chicane, and he'll get himself going again. But again, just to mention, no obvious signs of damage there. Oh! Marco loses it into the wall, and unbelievably doesn't seem to have any damage either. We know damage is absolutely 100% definitely on, guys. It's nothing to do with that. Seen enough damage to know it's on. Anyway, Whale takes his pit stop. He's going to look to try and undercut his way back past the guys that had only just gone past him. Here's a battle for us. So, well, in fact, it's two Mercs. It's Mamo and Greg Stars. So Greg Stars reserving tonight. So technically not teammates, but they are for the night. So obviously Greg Stars has the much better tyre. So for the team, much better option at the moment for Mamo to allow Greg Stars through. And I think that's what he just did. I just don't, there's no need for him to actually lift and let him through. He just allowed him to overtake with the use of DRS. That way neither of them lose any time. Sniper Mikey gets 3 seconds. So, with that battle done, at the moment Chris and Gunnar actually look quite content to sort of just help each other through the field. I think that's kind of what they're doing. Mamo into the pits then. On go the hard tyres. They will complete the final 15 laps. And Taylor Mackenzie does exactly the same. Still be looking to use that fresh rubber to get an undercut on anybody they can. Big question in my mind is still going to be, can Filbo and Stroudy get to the end of this race? So in last year's game, I would have said yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the Hards could do a whole race last year. No problems at all. As D-Bomb gets past Danny. So I can't believe I've just missed that. I didn't even notice that they were close. Sorry. D-Bomb does take the lead off of Danny. And that is significant because presumably Danny is probably going to come in this lap. Will D-Bomb... Well, what's he going to do? Because Danny is going to pit to hards. D-Bomb could pit to mediums. It's so obvious Danny was going to come in there. I was just thinking maybe D-Bomb should have pitted for mediums so he was coming out ahead of him. But with mediums on instead of hards. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out later in the race. But I just wonder if D-Bomb's missed a little trick there. I thought it was quite obvious that he was going to come in then, Danny. But here's Stroudy. So Philbo has managed to get past Moomin, so he's up to P5, and this is obviously is Stroudy, who's on the back now of Moomin. Danny, by the way, exited in P10 and is 4.3 to... He's just over 7 seconds behind Stroudy. You've got to think with fresh tyres that Danny will eat that time up pretty easily. There's a little short shift there from Stroudy. Whether he... Oh, Moomin! Oh, Moomin! He's lost it coming out the corner, and there was definitely debris there. He's lost an end plate, I think. It's not been... Oh, my goodness! It's not been a great night for him, is it, Moomin? Keep going, Moomin. Still 13 laps of this race to go. There could easily be a safety car yet. So... trying to find us a battle now, guys. Kenzie on the back of Whale, potentially. Schooner picks up 3 seconds. That's the other thing that's going to have a massive impact on this race. If D-Bomb, Greg Stars, Philbo, Stroudy, Danny, Mamo, James, and Mackenzie, and Moomin, all penalty free at the moment. If they can keep it like this and there was to be a late safety car, my goodness. As we've got yellow. Oh, we did have yellows. It disappeared so quick. I didn't... Oh, it's Gunnar. He's lost his front wing. It is Gunnar. He's lost his front wing. And he's off the racing line to allow that Alpha through. So Philbo up into P4 now. Oh, you must have been getting pretty close to a pit stop in a way. D-Bomb is in. Now, where will he come out? He should be behind Danny. I'm confident he will be behind Danny. He will definitely be behind Danny. Danny is going through now. What is the gap going to be? He's going to come out now. He's going to come out behind the Mercedes of Mamo. Just tell us he has lost quite a bit of time, but he has gone to soft tyres to complete the final 12 laps. I'm a little surprised at that. I would have thought mediums would have been a better option there. There's Stroudy following Sniper Monkey, who unbelievably is now sitting in P4. I don't know where that's come from. Presumably will drop back down when he pits. There's been quite a few pit stops actually. Corey and Gunnar, of course. Well, Gunnar we know had to pit. He lost the front wing. Corey's pitted. Whale gets past James. That is an admin moment. An admin overtake. Admin overtaking an admin. James had to let him through, of course. Whale is the boss and he don't want to lose his job, James. So obviously just had to move over and let Whale through. Whale's a bit like that, you see. He does sort of give it the old, you let me through or I'm going to sack you sort of stuff. Here comes Danny then. He's overtaking Stroudy. Sniper Monkey peeled off to the pits. So both of them go through against him, but Danny makes the move on Strady, and Philbo is only 2 seconds up the road. It just shows you, doesn't it, the power of the fresher tyre in this game. The gap between Strady and Danny when Danny came out the pits was 7.2 seconds. So it's probably about 9.2 to Philbo, and it's already down to 1.4. They're on the same tyre, but Philbo's 9 laps older, and it just shows, obviously Danny is super quick as well, but still just shows us the power of the fresh rubber. So battles are becoming a little bit more difficult to come by. Oh, and Gunar's out. Gunnar is out. That's going to be a safety car. He's just here. Now that is a very, very unusual mistake from Gunnar. Very unusual mistake from Gunnar. That is the safety car that we mentioned about. And this will allow everybody to pit. Oh, what a godsend for Greg and Chris. This is the safety car. Philbo will pit, of course, but he was looking for a great... Even though Danny was catching him at an absolute rate of knots, he was still on for a great result, but he still is as well, so... I don't think there should be any heroics here, guys. This should be everybody in. And effectively, it's going to be the sprint race all over again. Let's hope not, but it could be. Yeah, as mentioned, this should be, everybody will be in, surely. James stayed out, but he'd only just pitted. He will be absolutely ruining his luck. So frustrating when you pit and then the safety car comes out the next lap, or even later on in the same lap. It's so frustrating. So you take your pit stop when everybody's at absolute full pelt speed. Then everybody else is taking their pit stop while everybody's slowed down according to the safety car delta. Yeah, extremely rare retirement for Gunnar. Dare we look at the penalties? Shall we look at the penalties, or should we leave it as a surprise? It's too early. It's too early to look at the penalties, I think, at the moment. If we look at it, we'll look at it sort of right at the end, but I think we might keep it as a surprise because there's going to be people pinging all over the place. Into the pits here comes Moomin. Don't fancy staying on hard tyres to the end, so he's going to sacrifice one place, I believe, to Marco to get back to a fresh set of softs, presumably. There we go. So just one driver, and that is Philbo Baggins, who's opted for mediums. I'm not going to lie to you, at this moment in time I can't remember what the podium was on the sprint. I was much more interested in how bad the driving was than who finished where, but I know Danny was on the podium and he's currently in P7. I can't remember if D-Bone, Greg or Chris were on the podium. Philbo must have been, because he started from pole. So, of course, it was Philbo then Danny, wasn't it? Because it was an Alfa Romeo front row. I can't remember who the third podium finisher was in the sprint. But at the moment, there is not... I don't believe that there is anybody on the podium at the moment that finished on a podium in the sprint. Although Chris has a penalty, Philbo doesn't. I have to say here, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility that we could end up with another double podium for the Alfa Romeos here, but just depends how, like we saw earlier in the race that the softs did go off quite quickly, but of course, they are on much lower fuel loads now. Oh! Anyway, safety car has reached the pit lane. It is in. Everybody's eager. Everybody's eager. D-bomb goes out the final corner. Greg looks like he was a little slow to react. Don't think Chris is going to get a run on him. Any cars poking out. The Alpha Danny doesn't quite manage to get a move done. Oh, that was Mackenzie a little bit sideways, but he's okay. Well goes off track. So maybe there was a bit of contact between Well and Mackenzie, I'm not sure. Oh, there's definitely contact between someone there, but he was ahead of Marco. So what's happening, guys? Let's be a bit careful. So I'm not suggesting don't go for overtakes. Of course you're going to go for overtakes. We want to see you go for overtakes for this. Make sure you survive the overtake attempts. And the other driver, of course. So that was Whale getting past Marco. So Whale back up to P14. That little moment off track has just cost him. As I said, those guys without penalties are looking good. So Mamo makes his way past Corey. So again, it's so tight at the moment. It's really difficult to know who to watch. Let's go to the front boys as... and specifically Philbo, who's driving a superb race tonight, I have to say, and had a really excellent sprint race as well. I think as it stands right now, I would suggest that Philbo is probably at the top of my driver of the day running, but still 7 laps to go, so it can all change. So the guys in first and second have also had very good races as well, but a couple of guys getting just a little bit where Greg and Philbo just showing signs that they're using a bit too much energy. Well, Stroudy definitely is, but he's got this. See, this is what happens. You've got Danny on the back of you, so you end up using your energy because you're trying so hard to battle him and fight him rather than just sort of giving in. But he's going to leave himself vulnerable to the next drivers behind. Although, in all fairness, the next 5 drivers behind Stroudy have all got penalties, so he should be fine from them. It's going to be interesting when Danny gets on the back of Philbo. You would have... See, Danny admitted in a chat that he did come out the final corner on the sprint in an attempt to try and make it a drag race to the line. Just got a little bit out of shape though, and it ruined any opportunity he had, but he admitted he was going to try it. So how keen will Philbo be to allow him past? Very much a well, it's a DRS train without DRS at the moment, but operator picks up 3 seconds. And there's Greg. Greg goes for the move. And he moves into P1. T-Bomb's tires 2 laps older than those around him. And that could play a vital role, as you can see now. Chris is getting a look at him. Oh, Chris. Leave room, buddy. You've got to leave room. Probably. It was pushing the limits out from Chris in terms of leaving room, but he'd probably get away with that, I think. But, right, so the 2 Alfa Romeos are together, and Philbo has allowed Danny to go past. So Stroudy has a little look at Mamo. He's gone past him, but Mamo holds off there. Mackenzie on the back of him as well. Moomin, who, although sat in P11, is penalty free and will be gaining some places at the end of this as long as he just keeps doing what he's doing. But this is probably a good battle to watch, guys. Moomin surely is going to get a relatively easy overtake, you would think, here actually. There's DRS. Before he knows he's on the outside, so he's going to stick to the outside, and I think knew as well there was nothing he could do. In fact, he was going to go past Sniper as well. Yellow flag, that must have been... Oh, what is going on? Oh, Sniper Monkey! He had contact, because I'm sure there was another driver around, because there wasn't another driver in front of Corey for Moomin to overtake, and then all of a sudden there was. So Moomin's now at the P8. Now you're watching this one go on as Mackenzie makes his way past Filbo, and still maintain that Filbo is top of my driver of the day list tonight. Still. This other standout performance. Pretty much all the guys that don't have penalties are the ones that have stood out. Guys, it was D-Bomb. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I've only just realised D-Bomb is down in P15. He was the one that had a yellow flag along with Sniper Monkey, so maybe it was them that had to come together. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. It was all... It happened so fast. I was watching the battle. There was an overtake going on, so that's what I was watching. I'll just snooze this ad break off. There is one due to start, but I'll snooze that for 5 minutes, so... Try and remember to snooze that again as well. So, let's go back to Strady. In fact, well, it's more Mackenzie, isn't it? Ooh. Just looked like he was getting a bit oversteery then, and we got yellow flags. His operator's off track. Seems to be Monkey's making his way through. I hope the stewards are ready for the tickets off this one, because I think there's going to be a lot. As Greg is trying to get around the outside of Chris up to the chicane. He's not gotten it. He's going to have to hold off, and he's going to be vulnerable here to Danny. He clearly didn't get a very good exit, and Danny is going to make his way through. Mallow, I think, had to back out of that. There we go. So Danny up to P2, but with Chris having a penalty, he's just gone huge favourite to win this race. Wasn't convinced on the restart that he was likely to do that, but with everything that's gone on, as Moomin makes his way back through to P7. I'd say that Moomin is also very high on the driver of the day list as well. Oh no, Filbo's picked up a penalty. He's picked up 3 seconds, which means he has now been removed from the possible driver of the day list. Must be penalty free to get my driver of the day. But I'll definitely give him a mention though at the end, because he's been superb. Just, yeah, it's obviously been a difficult restart for him. He had to go to the medium tyre rather than soft, so it's obviously he started on the soft, so I can only assume he didn't have another set available. Here goes Mackenzie on the outside and takes the racing line forward. He has moved on before the break-in for the chicane and takes the racing line through there. Mamo going past teammate for the he was going past teammate for the evening, Greg Stars, but Greg Stars has retaken the place. It's Mamo I think it was a little bit deep on the brakes. And we are moving on to the final lap. Let's keep an eye on this. Sure, Chris would love to try and win this on track, even if the penalty does knock him back down. Chris and Greg, both reserves, doing very, very well. Standing in tonight. Well, they're both reserves. They've both been on the grid a few times this season, so they're not complete strangers to the league or anything. And look, Chris does overtake Danny on the straight, on the lead up to the chicane. Danny won't like that. But he hasn't. Chris has still got the DRS for this straight, so there's nothing Danny can do. As Sniper Monkey retires in the pits, going on to the last lap. Why? Just finish the race, Sniper Monkey. In this league, mate, that is a penalty for you. So Chris heads to the line. He is going to cross the line as first, but it will be Danny who takes victory in Australia. Greg moves into P2. Mamo up to P3. It's a double Mercedes podium. Look at Moomin. He's gone up to P4 and wow. Wow. Stradey's ended up P5. Very good drive from Stradey tonight. Mackenzie as well. I thought you did very well, lad. Well done. P6. Bilbo, absolutely superb. He's just like missed out on P6 actually by 79 thousandths, but ends up P7, and he also won the sprint. So a shout out for Bilbo, absolutely brilliant tonight, buddy. And I saw some really nice side by side stuff for you. So very impressed. No, Dark Mark P10 after my 3 seconds gets removed. It should do. Make sure you get the race director, Dark Mark. You will need the race director to have it removed. Can't do it without. I always try and catch it at the end of the stream just in case, but sometimes it's blank, so make sure you get it. So Danny takes victory, but it was certainly not straightforward, and in the end he gets it on a penalty countback with Chris dropping down, but it was Chris who crossed the line in P1. Well done. Massive shout out to Chris. Fantastic reserve performance tonight, buddy. You can certainly forgive penalties around here. It's Australia is one of the really hard ones. So, in terms of the what am I trying to say? In terms of the prediction thingy we do, is it prediction? Yeah, prediction. Danny finished the sprint on the podium. Mamo finished the sprint on the podium, and Philbo finished the sprint on the podium. Well, Danny and Mamo both finished the sprint in the race as well on the podium. Sorry, both finished the race on the podium as well. So the outcome is yes. So congratulations to everybody who opted for yes. So I'll just complete that off now. So there you go, guys. That's been paid out. And let me just go to the race director incidents. Look, there we go. It's blank. It's blank. Don't Mark, you need to make sure you... Oh, it wasn't blank. I know why it was blank now. It's because I didn't select race. Yeah, make sure you get it yourself then, buddy. So I always try to, and I did try then, but I pressed the wrong one. Right, guys, let's get... So who finished on the podium? I've forgotten. Danny... Right, let's invite Danny... Oh, have I just invited Dan? Don't, Mark, I didn't mean to invite you. Somebody left the lobby just as I was pressing it. Right. Danny. Right. Danny, that was definitely you this time. I've invited you. Chris has left. And Mamo was the other one who I can't get in. I usually rely on like Carty or someone getting him in, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get him in. I'll tell you what, guys, forget that. Forget that. I won't do podium interviews tonight. Don't bother joining Danny. I won't do podium interviews tonight. We'll leave that for this evening. Oh, Danny's just joined. Now I'm going to have to, aren't I? Be a bit rude to kick him back out. Danny.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Just enclose your audio, buddy, for me, please. You should have the box there.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. I'll just speak to yourself tonight. Chris has already left the lobby, and Mamo I can't invite in away, so I'll just have a quick chat with you.
I mean, I can invite him if you want.
Yeah, if you've got him, if you can invite him, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can invite him.
Oh, in that case, I'll try and invite Chris. I think I've got him on my friends. I should have him on my friends list. Oh, maybe not. Unless he's already switched his Xbox off. Might have done. I did say I wasn't going to do him, but it's fine. Well, apparently I don't have him. Never mind. All right. Well, while we're waiting for potentially for someone else to join,
Yep.
I'll speak to you first. We'll do it in that order this time. So I'll speak to you first. All in all, it's a little bit messy. Let's be honest. It was a little bit messy. But all in all, you've ended up winning a race. Okay, on a penalty countback this week, which is a bit unusual, but there we go. But you still won the race, so congratulations on that. Just sort of talk us through it, mate, from your perspective. What was going on?
Oh yeah, it was very messy overall. I have to agree. Yeah, sprint. I think the plan was only to not get damaged and not get caught up into turn one. I knew it's like gonna happen because it's so tight and the grip in that corner is really not great. So I knew someone's going to spin. So my whole case was just to avoid it, and I managed that very closely because Sniper Monkey's car really parked in front of me and ghosted in the last second. Otherwise, I probably would have DNF'd in the sprint. And yeah, and then I couldn't get. I mean, I could have sent the move on Filbo, but it wasn't worth it. I think it would not have been nice in the third sector as well because it gets very scrappy there, and yeah, I would just didn't see it worth it, and it's like 1 point, and it's whatever. Good teammate, so yeah, so
Absolutely.
you know, I need a teammate, so
take the points for the team. Take the points for the team.
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, and then the race, it was, I mean, pretty messy with the timings of the safety car, which like messed up all strategies.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about going for too soft as well, but I was just like after 5 laps, they're just as bad as the current medium I have on, and I was like, in those 5 laps, how much time can I make up? Will I get caught up in something? Maybe, maybe not. So I was just like, it's not worth it. And yeah, and then I got on the hards and was flying on those for some time. And yeah, then the safety car kind of ruined my charge kind of. So I was then in midfield with everybody pitting for soft again and going for a 5 lap shootout. And yeah.
Yeah.
And fortunately, Chris had penalties because I thought lap 28 was the last lap. So I was crossing the line and already letting off the gas and just realized it's lap 29 and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you mentioned there that the timing of both safety cars was a bit awkward because the first one came out really. It was probably a little bit too early for everyone, but the soft drivers not too bad. The soft starters, so they got to pit, and then there's always the shall I stay out, shouldn't I? And the top six all stayed out on the mediums, but then it was quite clear on the restart they did start getting swallowed up by the guys that had pitted. Which around a track like this leads to incidents, and I think ultimately led to the second safety car later in the race as well. Which again, as you said, come at a really awkward time. So
Yeah, I think the sprint also didn't help because I think if most people had a second medium, everybody would have probably pit and it would have like negated the awkward timings. So
yeah,
yeah, just like the combination of not having really the good tires and then the timings of the safety car, which yeah.
yeah. I think just a mention on the sprint. Obviously it was a bit of a disaster tonight, the sprint, but
Yeah.
I love the idea of trying different things. Maybe choose the tracks a little bit more carefully rather than doing it like Australia. But on the other hand, sometimes then if you do that, sometimes you end up just doing the same tracks every season. doing the sprints at the same tracks all the time, and so I think it was worth a go tonight. Okay, it didn't really work tonight, but at least it was. At least we gave it a go, and we know not to do that again.
Yeah, rather I think it should be like tracks with more like that are more wide and have like walls that are further away. But like Silverstone was really good because there's
Yeah,
no tightening corners and like you can nearly drive side by side every corner in Silverstone and nothing's gonna happen. Whereas around Australia, like so many corners are so fast.
yeah,
And yeah, if you drive side by side, it's just gonna someone's gonna tap someone and they spin and there's a wall and then their tire's off and it's a safety car.
yeah, exactly.
So I
Um,
think like there are pretty good tracks around that you can do this. Like,
yeah.
but maybe not Australia.
Strady, thank you very much, buddy. And just to say that, yeah, no problem having you tonight, buddy, and you drove absolutely brilliantly. So well done tonight. Um, okay, Mamo, I think you're here.
Yes,
You are. Have you included your audio or whatever it is you've got to do?
I have. I have.
You have. Excellent. Okay, mate. Well, P3, double Mercedes podium. The reserve also brought one home as well. So, um, did he? Or am I making that up?
Yeah,
No, he
yeah.
did, didn't
He
he?
was he was second. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to get Chris into the lobby, completely forgetting that he dropped off of the podium from penalties.
He
I was
got
supposed to be
eighth,
getting
I think.
Greg in. I was inviting the wrong person. Um, oh well. Anyway, Mamo, ultimately, I think you did really well tonight. So you got P3 in the end, but you were one of the standout drivers in terms of keeping it clean and just getting on with it, and it was quite obvious that the guys that weren't getting in the incidents. And you stood out as one of them. So, nice drive tonight. Just to, exactly the same as Danny. Just take us through your race from your point of view, buddy.
Um, very lucky in both races. The sprint race, just the whatever happened there. Um, I was like something of an action movie. Me dodging it all, just about. And I was. This is maybe a bad thing to wish, but I was almost hoping I didn't see Danny's name pop up behind me. I was like, oh, maybe Danny got caught in that. Just this once, maybe he got caught. No, she shows up from the ashes. Like, ah, that's it. Um, but I was struggling. I didn't have the pace of Danny or Greg. I like it to be full time because he's rapid.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a
I
good
did.
driver. I raced with him in HRF1. He is a good driver.
I did probably scare living daylights out of him at the end with my dive bomb, but
You went
I
deep, didn't
really,
you? Yeah.
I did. I deserved it as well. Um, but no, I really enjoyed it. As I said, I felt like I was struggling, but by the sounds of it, everyone was struggling, so it was just about managing it.
Yeah.
Um, P2 is always the aim whenever I'm racing Danny, but we got the penalty. That's on me, so just the way it
Yeah.
goes. But yeah, happy enough.
That's it. Philbo, GG guys, thank you for the stream. No problem at all, Philbo. Philbo was going to get my driver of the day until he got a penalty. So got a penalty quite late on, but he drove brilliantly today. Obviously had the pole position from the sprint race, um, and I think he ended up P5 after all the penalties actually sorted himself. No, actually P7 I think in the end. Um, but yeah, Philbo was brilliant tonight. Just unlucky with that penalty towards the end. Moomin, I've got to give a shout out to because I mean, at one point I thought he was going to retire in the pits because everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and it was just one of those nights and looking like I could see the frustration, but somehow
I
he's ended up coming P4. He stayed penalty free, and he's ended up P4. So, fair play, Moomin. So I think, I mean, I think I've got to give Moomin driver of the day for that fight back. But I have to say, Danny, you very much deserve it as well. So, but yeah, I'll give it to Moomin because you got the maximum points to win. So, and second in the sprint race. So, I'll give Moomin the extra point. And you don't care about driver of the day anyway. You just care about winning. So, there you go.
Mm, mm. I care
Oh,
about not having so many safety cars. Please.
yes, yeah. It wasn't so bad. I mean, it was only two safety cars in the main race.
I think it was
Bad.
free.
No, it was only two.
uh,
It was only
two
two.
and
full safety cars in the main race. We had 2 virtual as well, but
Oh, I know.
yeah. Yeah, so you're making up safety cars in your head. That's why you think there's so many.
Hey mate, I have PTSD of them at this point. Like I just see Bert Mylander driving in front of me in my dreams at this point.
Yeah, I think that's it then. Pretty much, I've paid out the prediction. So tonight's prediction was: will anybody finish on the podium in both sprint and feature race? Which both of you did. So that was a yes to that one, and that's been paid out. So congratulations to all those guys. I think that's it then. Does anybody know where we are next week? Has anybody looked?
Yeah, it's a horrible track as far as I know. I've seen the next 4 races and they were not great.
You literally say that every week. Every single time
Yeah,
I speak to you.
it's
Where are
getting
we
worse.
next week? Oh, it's a horrible track.
It's cheddar. It's cheddar.
Okay, that's not a horrible track.
I mean, on the pad it is.
So we do a reverse sprint there.
No, but we should have. We should have. I think it would have been better because there's 3 DRS zones.
Yeah.
And everybody at least has the patience to wait till that zone comes up.
There's 4 DRS zones on Australia.
Yeah. And that's why everybody sends it into the tight corner. Maybe that's
Now
the
I'm
problem.
thinking about
then.
it. Is it the only track to have more than 3? I can't think of another track that's got 4.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I remember. I think fans were almost being like, "Whenever it happened in real life, like that's a bit too much." I think.
Yeah.
I think they removed the one, right? In real life.
I think so.
I preferred it
Yeah.
when the chicane was there. I thought that chicane was probably the best corner because it was such a difficult exit out of it. I think that was the wrong. I think it was the wrong move from Australia to do that. But yeah, maybe it says more about F1 that the only way we can actually get overtakes these days is to stick us straight with a massive DRS zone.
Yeah, but in this game it makes it really awkward, I have to say, because often you have like just enough, or like you don't want to go side by side in that chicane, like
No.
into the fast section, and often it's just the DRS is enough to make you go side by side exactly when the corner starts there. So it's like really awkward, and I really hate it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's such a horrible corner to end up with. To have the longest DRS zone and the strongest one as well. You do get loads of overtakes down that straight. To end up with that chicane rather than a hard braking corner, like a hairpin or something. It's just, yeah, I think it's mad. It just doesn't make sense to me. But each to their own. Anyway, guys, I will let you go. So, to everybody out there in Twitch land, thank you ever so much for watching along with me and keeping me entertaining in the chat as well. Thanks to everybody who watches the stream back as well. There's always well over 100 people who watch the Tuesday ones back, so thank you ever so much. We will be back next week then for Jeddah at the same time, 8 o'clock, and we'll be back to the usual format of full qualifying 50% race. So come and watch us for that. I will be back on Friday for PRF1 at 8:30, so come and join me for that. And the new season of HRF1 on Sunday at 8 o'clock, so come and join me for that one as well. Other than that, guys, it's Wednesday tomorrow, so it's round 2 of the new division for WAOF1, which will be on Corey's stream. So please join WAOF1 Corey for the Wednesday division. Was off to an absolute awesome start last week, so that hopefully that will continue around Portimao tomorrow night. Other than that, good night, God bless, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.
Well,